Welcome to the II Preview Show with me, Davey B, Dog Guesser, Bomber McCormack, and Mr. T. Welshie. Welcome, chaps. Thank you for joining me. I'll come to Dog Guesser first. Are you looking forward to the derby, Dog Guesser?
A little bit, yeah. Bit of controversy with the redraw. Being honest, I was ready to pull my dogs out and go skits because I thought I had two nice eats. But yeah, barring that, mate, it's different, and it's the one time of the year where you can get a bet. So yeah, looking forward to it, and hopefully a few beers down Towie and meet up with a few people I've not seen for probably 6-8 months or whatever. So yeah, should be good.
Good stuff. Welshie, are you looking forward to it, mate?
We cannot wait, Davey. I'll be there Thursday and Friday. Looking forward to seeing the gang who are going to be there. Come say hello if I've not met you before. Yeah, cannot wait. It's the best of the Irish, well, that we've got available against the best of the English. Let's have it. Cannot wait.
Good stuff. Bomber, can you keep it brief? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Looking forward to it, Davey. Thanks very much for putting a time limit on me. Yeah, look, it's great. It's always the best time of year. English derby, Irish derby, Night of Stars. There seem like the main three events, and as the lad said, it's when all the UK and Irish lads come together, like for racing. Like, so yeah, looking forward to it now. It's always a good 6 weeks. Another year of Toaster, and well, still can't work it out. But sure, look, it's a lottery, and it's a derby worth 175 grand. So that's why people keep coming back. So yeah, looking forward to it now.
Good stuff. Right, let's get into the action. I'll just share the screen. Balls, wrong screen. Here we go. We've got. I've been right shit to this, haven't I? Heat 1. We have Drive On Lad in 1, Bubbly Star in 2, Undulation in 3, Droopies by Emil in 4, Mustang Sam in 5, and Vacant in 6. Dog Guesser, what do you fancy?
I actually quite like the 5 here. Undulation's been off the track since December for racing. I know it's done the trial, and it's probably had loads of work at home. There's nothing that beats racing, in my opinion. The dogs, well, obviously she's a bitch anyway, but the 4's going to cut in. The 1's been running pretty well in the maiden derby, I think it was, but it's dodging its cap off, being honest. So yeah, I was with the 5. I thought it had a really good makeup. Wasn't a race I was rushing in to bet, but you know, the main principles are 1, 3, and 5. I just thought the 5 probably should be favourite, and I think the market's got 1 or 3 favourite. I'm not sure which, but it wasn't really a race I wanted to get stuck into. But yeah, 5 had a good makeup, I thought, so I'd be with that in the first heat, I think.
Welshie, what are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, very, very similar to Craig. Trap 4, Droopies by Emile. He wants to go rails, and sorry to the Nathan Hunt Racing Club lads, but he wants to come across a lot. And fair play, if he gets across, he's got every chance. In Trap 1, Drive On Lad for the Reese Kennel, he's got a good chance as well if he traps level. Yeah, nothing much will lead him up, but. I'm the same as Dog Guesser. I fancy Mustang Sam. What I think will happen in the race is that Mustang Sam will lead up. He'll break well, and after that, everything's got to catch him. So I can't see anything doing that, to be honest. If he breaks, there's a 407, for instance, like his trials, nothing's going to get near him. So agreement with Dog Guesser.
Cheers, mate. Bomber, what are you thinking?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to go too far away from the lads. I think they've the race summed up pretty well. I think 4 is making the race absolute for 5. Like, 5's probably a good thing. on paper as is, the way the draw is panned out, and like 5 doesn't even have to break like the insane splits it has, because 4 is going to give it a path. I think Undulation's probably in trouble if she doesn't come away. As Doggesser said, she hasn't ran for a long time, and that seems to be the pattern of a lot of the Matthews dogs this year. Dogs coming off a couple of sprints that haven't ran in 5 months and stuff, and look, she was either in season or had injuries or something, because she would have ran in the Kirby now. Otherwise, she has some very fast marks in her card. I think her last race is actually in the English Puppy Derby, which shows you how long ago that was. But yeah, look, I agree with the lads. I have 5 with an unbelievably good draw. I'd say 3, if she can just qualify, she'll keep probably coming through. I'd say, but she'd need to probably qualify for the first 2 rounds to show her true potential. But yeah, for the heat alone, 4 is as well. She said 4 is an absolute machine. Like, it's seen as a couple of really fast runs on Scar, especially what the 27.90 and one more is one of them. But yeah, it's just so draw dependent. Now, if it came away, it'd have to do probably a low 4-second split or 4:10 split to get across. And even at that, Drive on Lad always holds his pitch well on the rails. So yeah, I think 5 as well. I just think if 5 comes away at any sort, it's just going to lead around. And then I'd be amazed if it got picked up, because, as well, she said, a lot of them are going to have to insane running from behind to win. So yeah, I'm going with 5 as well, Mustang Sam.
So it looks like Mustang Sam is the one to be in Heat 1. Moving on to Heat 2, we've got Charity Shay in 1, White Clover in 2, Romeo Magico in 3, Bubbly Cooper in 4, and Wolf Moon in 5. Doggesser, what do you fancy?
I found this very difficult. I kind of want to be with a 4. It's had a massive rave up from the red when it ran at Toaster. I think it'll suit the middle a little bit better. 1 and 2 for me look like they could get in a bit of bother. I think Otis wants more 3 or 4. Obs Rhino wants the rail. I thought the 3 would probably edge in, and the 5 sort of 28, 70, 60 Waterford, and it'd maybe edge in a little bit from 5, but it's okay. It wasn't one of them races that I wanted to bet anyway, but if I had to bet anything, I'd probably bet the 4. But yeah, I had no real. No, actually, wait, I'm on the wrong eat here.
I thought this sounded a little bit different to my notes that I had.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, here we go. No, there we go. That's better. Yeah, the 1 run. Yeah, there we go. Obviously, defending champion 3. I made a case for White Clover at the prices. I thought it was a little bit overpriced. I thought it's got a bit of a quirk about it as well. It's got to a couple of Cat 1 finals. Probably won't stay strong enough, but Magico's got that sort of horrible misbreak in him. 4's not really a trapping sort, not really got any pace. 5's not very good, without being horrible. And the 1 looks a bit outclassed as well. So I thought the only 2, the 3 dogs that can run are 2, 3, and 4. And if I'm being honest, I thought White Clover at the prices was probably a little bit big, like. But like sort of, I thought it'd be a 3-1, and Magico would be maybe, sort of 2-5, 4-9. I mean, he's very, very short with the firms, I think, Magico, because he's got that horrible start on him. And you saw it last year, he's not certain to pick something up either. So, yeah, I think White Clover would be the value in the heat, but I'm not rushing to have a bet.
Well, Shay, what are you thinking, mate?
I agree with Craig from a betting perspective. You can't rush into a 1-3 poke, but Romeo Magico is so far clear of this field. It's unbelievable. He's the defending Derby champion, for good reason. He's as short a price as he is. He was a 90-1 poke last year for the anti-post on the English Derby. However, this year he's about the right price considering the field. White Clover is nowhere near this level. He keeps getting picked up, in my opinion, by better dogs. If you look at Monmore, his heat's there. Romeo Magico all day long. For me, I can't see past it. If you're a betting man and you're betting against Romeo Magico here, fair play to you. But not for me. Romeo Magico, right price, 1 to 3 ish. That's about right.
Bomber, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I'm agree Welsh 100%. It's just he's just too good. Like, it's as simple as that. He's defending champion, and not even that. He's just such a consistent dog. Like, he's in the last couple of years. Every couple of years, you get a dog who's just so consistent for their 3 years in their career and that. And Romeo Magico was as good as he was as a pup as he is now. You know, he's just an absolute machine. Now, having said that, as Craig said, he can have a horrible break, but in this race, to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter. He got bet in a trial stake there a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely walked out, but sure, the pace he showed from 2 to 3. Now, he did that in Limerick as well. Showed the ridiculous pace and behind, and then got his back legs clipped. But that was against Bobsleigh Dream and Beeper's Lariat, so there are much better claps of a dog than he's in with tonight. But yeah, look, it's just Romeo Magico. Like, you pick him as a selection, but you're not going to run them back on either. You just kind of sit back and watch probably his class. The White Clover dog, I actually think Romeo Magico could actually pick him up from behind, even if he makes a hash to start. Like, and you know, that's not really Romeo Magico's specialty. But yeah, look, it's just sit back and watch Romeo Magico for how good he is. This is probably the heat that he can do his best run. He can show how fast he can go around Toaster. He's in trap 3 in the right heat. Like, if he comes away at all, he should probably do a huge run. You expect him to break 29 seconds. But yeah, look, it's Romeo Magico. The rest, no disrespect to the rest of the field, but like, it's just it's day and night to how the class between them. So yeah, it's just Romeo Magico.
Thanking you. Moving on to Heat 3, we've got Signet Otis in 1, Hope's Rhino in 2, Bubbly Cherokee in 3, Romeo Hanzo in 4, and Cuckoo Fund in 5. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
Yeah, well, this was the heat I've just literally talked about. So anyone can go back and watch that. But yeah, I don't think the Red's quite the same dog as he was. And I also think he prefers the middle. I had 1 and 2 in a bit of a mess here. Obviously, they're the 2 dogs in the race that you'd look to, you know, as the best dogs or the fastest dogs. 5's well drawn. I'm not massively a fan of the 3. I think he's just a bit of a ploddy sort. He's not massive early. He's not massive back or anything. I'd take a chance with a 4, especially at the prices. I think he's a fast enough dog. He's a bit quirky and he could slow the race down, but yeah, again, it's not one of the heats I'm like going, you know, I really want to be involved in. And I just thought the 4 had the draw. 1 and 2 couldn't knacker each other, and yeah, if that happens, I think the 4 would take advantage. But he might not really go in front because he's just one of them type of dogs. So yeah, trap 4 for me.
Welshie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, never thought I'd say this, but I'm in absolute agreement with Dog Gasser. Signet Otis is a good dog. Will start well from 1 at Toaster. Comes across Hope's Rhino, in my opinion, and that leaves you with an open race, really, in the sense that Romeo Hanzo can go and do the business. I would be with Craig on this, though, in the sense that anything can kind of win. I wouldn't be rushing to bet something in this race. This would be one I'd be happy to watch and see Romeo Hanzo kind of clean up, to be honest. It's not a betting race if you do go and bet on this race, so a trap 4 for me.
Cheers, mate. Bomber, what are you thinking?
Yeah, look, I think Romeo Hanzo's an unbelievably good draw here. He doesn't want to be plotting the rails. As you seen last week, even though he won impressively, he does tend to move out. So 4, like, he doesn't want to be out wide, doesn't really want to be on the fence. Bang middle is probably the ideal draw for him. I think you'll probably see the best from this race, especially because 1 and 2 are probably drawn the wrong way around. And as Craig says, 1 has other ideas in his head for me as well. Extremely fast and can do any sort of run out stay. But look, if you're backing them type of dogs, you know, best luck to you. It's a lottery itself. I just think 4 very classy dog. Did a huge run Shelburne as a young pup, 28-18. Did a 28-07 in the Kirby. Do you know, he's a classy sort. Like, now, the one problem I would say is it's either he hits the boxes or he doesn't. There's no really middle ground with him. But I just think maybe at 4, he's well positioned that even if he doesn't come away, he'll just pace up well. And there's not really dogs around him to go up with him. So yeah, look, I just think Romeo Hanzo. I just think if I owned Romeo Hanzo in this heat, if he was good enough to win the Derby, he'd have to win this impressively. I wouldn't be you wouldn't want the types of Signet Otis and that trying to stop you, especially. So yeah, look, I'll go for Romeo Hanzo. Yeah.
Cheers, Bomber. Moving on to Heat 4. Well, Sports Vic is vacant, withdrawn. Cloner Uriel is also withdrawn, so that's another vacant trap. So that leaves Marie Champion in 3, Deanridge Anton in 4, and Distant Podge in 5. Dog guesser, what do you fancy? You're on mute, mate.
There we go. I've actually backed Podge at 7-4 when the Boyle Sports dog was in the race, but I mean, now really it's a match in it. The Anton dog, for me, isn't really good enough. I think Podge will just sort of make all, and I don't think Marie's Champion will get to it, to be honest. I think it probably is as simple as that. But everyone's on at SP now, so it's not really going to matter. But yeah, I think Marie's Champion's a good sort, and I think Podge is a good sort, but I just think Podge will sort of go along and do 29-20, 29-10, and you don't tend to see dogs doing them sort of times getting back run at Toaster. So I'd be with that.
Cheers, dog guesser. Welshie, what do you fancy?
Yeah, sorry to disappoint viewers, but very, very similar in the sense that prior to the withdrawal of Sports Vic, I really fancied Distant Podge like massively. This Sports Vic sort of changed the race slightly in the sense that they could get to the bend with Marie Champion and be very even, but I fancy Distant Podge for big time, to be honest, with the 4 runners, but with 3, don't know. When you look at the race with 2 vacant traps inside 2 and 1, Marie Champion has got every chance. It's not often you see a dog that's got two traps vacant inside it, especially a Toaster. When you think about Toaster, you want to be in trap 3 for a kick-off, but when you've got 2 and 1 both vacant inside, that's a massive advantage. I know it's a 3-dog race; they're all going to qualify. But if I was betting on something before trap 1 getting vacant, I'd be with dog guesser. Yeah, Distant Podge has got great form. He's beat some great dogs prior to the trials that have taken place recently. But I wouldn't be at this point. I wouldn't be betting, to be honest, because you've got Marie Champion with 2 vacant traps inside. You've got the best dog in trap 5, but he's got 2 dogs inside him. Anything could happen. 3 could win, 5 could win. If you're a betting man and you've got money in your pocket, don't bet on this race.
Bomber, what are your thoughts?
I'm going for a beer, lads.
Yeah, well, look, this is essentially a match race event, basically. Just the fact that, yeah, look, no disrespect to the 4, but like it's not going to get in the way of between 3 and 5. 3's interesting. It's not really a dog I knew too much about. I had a look at its card there earlier this morning. I just seen that it's an inexperienced dog in a sense, but like it struggled to get to the front in its races in Hove. Did a lot of running to win. And then obviously came to Toaster and won impressively. I just think, as the lad said, 5 has ran with a much better class. He won the big pup competition in Nottingham at the end of last year. But quite unlucky as well in the juvenile race. I remember there was the traps didn't favour him. I think he even cut his nose and the muzzle and everything went down with the lids. But yeah, look, it's he's a classy sort of dog. But look, if Tree's the up and coming star, he should probably give him a good race. trials suggest he's not a million miles away from. If anything, his solo trials are actually quicker than Distant Podge. But look, Distant Podge is great early pace. I think if he does his thing, he should probably win. But I don't expect him to go out and beat by 3 or 4 lengths of any sense. You're not going to wait. I think it's a big. It's basically a trial essentially. I think it's a big trial for 3. I think if you own 3, it's very interesting to see what you can do against Distant Podge. Don't expect you to beat him. But yeah, I think it's a good maybe a benchmark for him to run. Like, this is the first time he's running with that sort of dog, so he's getting a kind of an easy way into it, just having a match race with him. So yeah, see what he can do. But yeah, I would go with Distant Podge. The lad said it's a watching race, or as Simon says, you go for a beer at this race either. But yeah, look, it's more of a match race than a derby heat. But yeah, so look, I'll go with Distant Podge. But yeah, that's basically it.
Cheers, Bomber. Moving on to Heat 5, we have got Lynx Top Gun in 1, Chelm's Chris in 2, CryptoPunk in 3, Chelm's Greatest in 4, and Coppice Elmo in 5. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
I think CryptoPunk's the nap of the first round here. Genuinely, the 7-4 put up by 365 is palpable. I think the 11-8 is nigh on palpable as well, to be honest. I don't see what leads him, even off any sort of a break, to be honest. He should just make all and he should just win. The rest of them just have no... They're all like sort of early pace 6 bend dogs, 600 yard. And he's just going to be 5 clear probably at halfway and probably win 3.5, 4 lengths and do 29-20, and that'll be that. So I thought he should be probably more 2s on. You can still bet 4-5, 11-10, them sort of prices. I think they're wrong. So yeah, I thought CryptoPunk was probably my nap of the round, and I have unfortunately bet him accordingly. And if he loses, I'll be off the toaster stand on Thursday night. So yeah, he should be winning there.
Simon, what are your thoughts for Heat 5?
Worryingly, I'm with Craig again. Sorry, mate.
Listen, Bomber.
This is the nap of the round. Nap of first night, second night, third night. How the bookmakers have got him 100-1, 100-1 anti-post to win the English Derby is beyond me. He should be 40-1 maximum, maybe 33s, 25s. He's a good dog. He's owned by Simon Taylor, who is the owner of New Inn Taylor, Irish Derby champion. He's an Irish Derby semi-finalist. He's a very good dog. He's run well at Shelburne for the past 12 months. How this dog is 100-1 is beyond me. But for his heat, 11-8 and 7-4, Bet365 went with is incredible, to be honest. If I'd had a Bet365 account, Denise would be banning me immediately. How can a dog of this quality against I'll be honest, poor opposition? I'm sorry for anyone who's an owner of the other dogs or is a trainer of the dogs up against him, but he's just different gravy, different quality to what he's up against. And 11-8, I took 11-8 immediately, I'll be honest. I couldn't believe that a certain bookmaker went up with that price. I put him up at about 8-11, to be honest. When I saw the heat come out, and when I saw 11-8, I was like, "Merry Christmas!" So you can still get, like, I think evens on CryptoPunk. Just fill your boots, lads. That's all I can say. Fill them, enjoy it. If he breaks out of that trap, out of the bingo trap 3. Game over. Thank you very much. Good night.
Bomber, what are your thoughts?
The lads have summed it up pretty nicely there. Look, CryptoPunk, I couldn't believe the price as well. I literally just looked at the card and it says, "There's your." Every year you look and you see an Irish dog, and you go, "Yeah, there's one getting an absolute huge drop in grade." Bar something, a freak accident, it can't lose. CryptoPunk is that dog this year, and then the lad said when the prices come out, couldn't believe it. No, I didn't get any of it, but at the same time, it just shows you every year. It's like it's a lack of research or knowledge in the pricing, and we're not going to complain about that either. But look, he's an Irish Derby semi-finalist. I would kind of class him as we'd always say over here, a Laurels type of dog. Like he's massive early pace, likes tight tracks because he's good breaker, massive early pace. Cork, Waterford, them type of tracks suit him. He surprised me in Shelburne last year how well he ran the Derby. But yeah, like he should look. He's probably Graham Holland's fourth or fifth heading into the Derby, which is crazy to say. But at the same time, any four of them five dogs can win the Derby. It's as simple as that. He's not as quick as a dog as Clone the Duke or Swords Rex, but he's a consistent, genuine dog. And as the lad said, in this type of grade, he's just it's amazing. It's not even the fact that the grade that's around him. It's the lad said there's absolutely no early pace in this heat, and he's all early. Like he can miss the break, and I still expect him to go 2.5, 3 lengths clear, heading into the second bend. He's just different class of early pace to all of them. I think the way probably the pricing worked is that they're making Kevin Hunton's dog in 5. They're probably expecting him to be favourite, this crack of Oxford track records and all that. Like, but looking at his card, it's just did a huge run. It was the first time he ever broke Hunton's dog in 5. A lesser grade, he did a huge run, and fair enough, he's able to run if he gets a run. But no, CryptoPunk, I just can't see him bait either. The lads. So, but yeah, if even money is still around, it's still an unbelievable price. I couldn't put you away from even money on CryptoPunk because you says there'll be dogs who are even money in heats and they have to beat 3 or 4 of the best in between the two countries. Like, and yeah, I think even money on CryptoPunk is a steal, to be honest with you.
Here's Bomber. Moving on to Heat 6, we've got Black House Harry in 1, Friday's SK in 2, Antigua Big Sid in 3, Mystical Mario in 4, and Trap 5, Ballyhimmin Mel, if that's how you pronounce it. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
It's a weird one, this, because Black House Harry's probably the fastest dog in the heat, but he should not be seeded rails. The fact that he is seeded rails and he's drawn 1 and people will moan about it just sums up the fact that he shouldn't be seeded there. 3 is going to move into the rail. So for me, 1 and 3 moving that way, I don't want to be with either of those. They're probably slightly faster than the 4, but I'd want to be with 4 and 5. I'd probably Dutch them. I think at the prices that are about, you could bet nigh on, maybe 2 to 1, 5 to 2 for the Dutch, and I'd be happy taking my chance because you've only really got to beat 1 and 3, and they could really do each other. So I prefer Mystical Mario over the 5, to be honest. It's put up some decent runs round sort of Perry Bar, and the dog can really run. It's really well drawn. The bitch in 5, Ballyhimmick and Mel hasn't got loads of early either, and it's not really going to be cutting down. So yeah, if I was going to be betting anything, the 6 to 1, the 5 to 1, the 11 to 2, Mystical Mario would probably be my bet. So yeah, Mystical Mario for me. There's dogs in there if they don't scrap on the inside and things don't go. If 1 pings and 1 misses, which can always happen, then there's ways it can get beat. But definitely at sort of 6, 5, 11 to 2, 4 to 1 even. I thought it probably should be 11 to 4 poke. Mystical Mario would be probably one I'd be willing to bet in the first round. In fact, it is one that I have bet. So, I'd be betting that.
Cheers, mate. Welshie, what do you fancy?
Yeah, I agree with Dog Guesser on the price. I thought 5 to 1, 6 to 1 was just nuts for a dog that's he's broken really well at Perry Bar. and it's got good sectionals on there, good times on there. But I visited the race once again this afternoon, so I just thought maybe I've missed something. And I watched Black House Harry's run. I think it must have been his last run, and he ran an absolute blinder from, I think it's from track 1 or 2. Well, anyway, I watched Black House Harry and I thought, you know what, he's got enough pace to just get around that bend and just pick up whatever's in front of him. And I just thought, based upon the fact that I think he'll get the rail to himself, I'm going for 1 Black House Harry, available 9 to 4 at the moment. I was before I rewatched the race this afternoon. I was with Craig. I thought, how is Mystical Mario 5 to 1? I couldn't work it out, and I was with Mario the whole last few days after doing the cards early. But I just think Black House Harry will bully him, and I think he'll do him on the inside. He'll take the rail and he'll go past him. I think Mario will lead. So if you're looking for some kind of forecast, 4-1, 1-4, I think you get some money out of that. Ballyhimmakin Mel, I think, will come third because he's just very good. So I wouldn't be put off on a forecast tricast here involving 1, 4, and 5. You can make a few quid out of that, to be honest. Yeah.
I might give
but
that
1 for me, Black House Harry.
Cheers, mate. Bomber, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have our first heat that we've all went for different dogs. I actually thought Antigua Big Sid had a good chance in 3. As Craig said, the top is definitely the fastest dog in the race. He's just, I'm not a big fan of his draw either. I thought last week he was very fortunate to be in the heat he was in with lack of early pace. Didn't come away 420 splits. They're not going to get you far in the competition if you keep doing them. Especially for a dog who he reasonably likes to get to the front early enough. Like, he likes to get to the front, definitely at the second bend. I wouldn't say he's a massive finisher by any stretch of imagination. 4 is definitely a very consistent fast dog, an absolute smash breaker. But on its longer 4 bend runs, I've never been impressed. Like around Nottingham and stuff, it's always tied up badly coming home. I just thought if 3 could find itself maybe within close to 4, it could outgun it. 3 some very exceptionally fast trials that it's guard. Now, I would say the one problem with 3 is it seems to be a bit awkward running with other dogs, just around it. But at the same time, I just thought just from 3 to break and box to have a chance. There's a couple of really fast sprints, a couple of 15-50 and toaster and that as well. So yeah, I think I'd take a chance with 3 in this race.
Cheers, Bomber. Moving on to Heat 7. We've got As I Say in 1, Dapper Vodney in 2, Ryoka Joey in 3, Savannah Titan in 4, and Tommy's Boss in 5. Dog guesser, what do you fancy? Love it when he's on mute, don't you?
We should get that all to him.
Cheers, lads.
Oh, good. Here he is.
There was an expletive in there as well, like before you play. Yeah, there's actually a dog in here that I really, really like in the first round. I think he'll go on bet as well. As I Say, for me, doesn't want the rails. He probably wants 3 or 4. Savannah Titan's going to move in. He's probably not quick enough to bother the Joey dog in 3. 2's going to stay pretty straight, maybe head to the rails a little bit. But I think the insides could be absolute carnage, and I want to be with Tommy's Boss. I think 100 to 30, 7 to 2. And I actually think he's a dog who will make the machine as well. Yeah, he's one of them dogs that he's a little bit unflashy. He's not a time dog, but he's just really, really well drawn. He run well behind Marie's Champion. And I just think if you could get the 1 and the 3 to do each other a little bit here, I think the 11 to 4, 3 to 1, 7 to 2 could look very big. I thought it should be probably more like a 2 to 1, 7 to 4 chance. And I think the Joey dog's probably a little bit too short in for me, but you know, a few people have disagreed. But yeah, Tommy's Boss I thought was one of the better bets of, especially on the Thursday night. I thought he was one that I want to get you know, a little bet on and have a go at.
Cheers, mate. Well, Shay, what are you thinking?
I agree with Doggasser in one sense, in that Trap One is paceless. One of my good friends, Rob Howe, fancy Trap One, and he's wrong. It can't win. It's paceless. Sorry to Connections, but it can't win. It's too slow, and it's in the wrong box. So that one can't win. For me, it's between 3 and 5, but I can't see how 5 gets across 3. So for me, I know it's a bit obvious, but I can't see how Rioja Joey wins, and I think this is Kev Hutton's best chance at a Derby champion. So boring, I know, but I'm with the Fav, Rioja Joey.
Cheers, mate. Bomber?
Yeah, look, as I say, it's the Irish runner in this heat, and as the lads say, not as I say, but as the lads say, it's very fast, but it's one of those dogs where it looks better in behind than it's ever actually done. And that's my thing about it. Like, it's this one, oh, look at the pace that as I say, show them behind. Look at this. But at the same time, it's behind every night. You know, poor splits. You know, it's even, I was kind of surprised. I thought it'd do probably a better trial last time in a trial, but in a solo. But yeah, it's just one of those dogs. Like, it's always going to find dogs in its way, and it's going to have to do it the hard way. And it's just going to be one of those greyhounds. Yes, it's very quick, and if you had it, you wouldn't complain. At the same time, it could keep on qualifying, but it's just one of those dogs. It's going to have a very poor win record, and it's just not for me. I thought 3 was a moral in this. I thought 5 is a smash breaker as well. Yes, has a very good draw in this heat, but can it do the numbers on the clock? I don't think so. Looks to me more like a 29.70, 29.65 type of dog. He'd have to have massive carnage in behind. 3 is probably no value, but I just thought even like 3 can probably even outgun 5 early on, and can probably stay 30 spots better then. So yeah, I found it hard to see 5. 2 is very quick when it puts it all together, but poor enough breaker as well. I just think, yeah, between from 1 and 2 not coming away, I think 3. I think 3 is a good thing here. But I just don't know what price, lads, what 3 is on the betting, but I just thought if you're a select trying to pick a winner, I just thought 3 was getting a bit of a drop in grade as well. So
even money, Rioja Joey. I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. I don't think it's a ridiculously, but I don't think it's not an amazing price. It's not a ridiculously bad price. I think if you wanted to play him, it wouldn't put you off him. But yeah, I go with 3 in this one.
Cheers, Bomber. Moving on to Heat 8, we've got Ballymac Finn in 1, Jeopardy Dog in 2, Warzone Milo in 3, Signet Goofy in 4, Warzone Tom in 5, and Savannah Hero in 6. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
I'll make this a bit of a match, to be honest. I understand there's a bit of money for the 4. Obviously, he's really well drawn. 3 is going to move in. 2 is going to move in a bit. And 1's sort of coming off as well. 5 and 6 are both pretty slow to the corner. It's whatever you like in it, I suppose. I was with Finn over Goofy. I had it sort of 5-4, 2-1. There's been 11-4 Goofy available, which I think is a little bit big, and some 3-1, I think, as well, actually. I think Finn's a little bit too classy. I don't think Goofy's quite the same force he was to the corner that he was in last year's Derby. I think he stays a little bit stronger now. I think he's got a little bit of his own ideas as well, like same as Finn. I think Finn's a bit chasey when he's in behind, but I just think it's a 2-dog race, if I'm being honest. And the dog for me in the race will be Finn, but he's no sort of a price. So I could take or leave it. It's a race that I just think I'd happily sit and watch. But yeah, you know, sort of even money 5-4 Finn doesn't do anything for me. But I think he's the winner of the heat, and you know, all the value on Signet Goofy is now gone, so it won't be for me betting wise.
Cheers, mate. Welshie, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint, but Craig's nailed that heat in the sense that Goofy was a good price initially, but now not so much. But he could easily hose up. He's got a great draw. He's had a good box in for. Suits Goofy that box. If you look at his toaster form last year, look how well he ran out of 4 and 5. He was very, very good. One Ballymac Finn. I've said this on Twitter, but I think he's probably the best dog in the Derby. To be honest, the very best. But is he slightly undercooked? Maybe. I think he needs a run. And we've seen this with Irish dogs before now. They just maybe need that first round run where they become second or third and progress through no problems, but then they're into the next round and in the hat. Can I bet Ballymac Finn? Odds on, no, absolutely no way. Not from trap 1. So can I bet sign a Goofy from 4? Maybe not at the price now, but at the reasonable prices, like Craig said, yeah, maybe at 3 to 1, yeah, why not? It's a good price for a dog that pings the lids from top 4 or 5 in toaster. If I'm being honest, from a tri-cast point of view, you've got Ballymac Finn in 1, you've got Santa Goofy in 4, you've got Warzone Tom in 5. There's maybe a tri-cast there that could win you a few quid. Maybe 1 4 5 or 4 1 5. I wouldn't put anyone off against that, but yeah, I'll be watching other than the tri-cast, to be honest. Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Bomber.
Yeah, look, it's the lads have summed up well. Ballymac Finn, I agree with Welshie 100%. He is easily one of the best greyhounds in the Derby. He's the one. There's always a couple of superstars around that time, and the 3 best dogs, in my opinion, coming over from Ireland to the UK this year is Ballymac Finn, Swordrax, and Clonmacduke. I think they're standout above the rest. I'm not saying another Irish dog can't win it or that, but I just think in terms of if you could pick any dog to have, it's one of them 3, and there's no question about that. Ballymac Finn ran up the Irish Derby before he was even 2 years of age. He's out a great Ballymac Petsy litter who was sister to Pastana. Look, he needs a run big time. They're not trying to win the Derby in the first round. It's as simple as that from owning training perspective. From a punting perspective, you'd probably want him to have a race, a trial stake or something heading into it. He ran unbelievably well in the Easter Cup in the early rounds, and then hard to explain the night he went out, looked like he either cramped, picked up something. It was strange. It was very heavy track on the night, but he didn't get to the front, near the front early, and he just petered out very badly. So we haven't seen him race since then. Obviously smashing trials of Tralee, what you expect from a dog of his class. But yeah, I would be worried just in the first round. I think Signet Goofy there's a time for him to beat Ballymac Finn. It's this round. Like, I think lads forget Signet Goofy went undefeated in the Derby to the final last year. He absolutely loves Toaster. If you look back on his 4 bend record in Toaster, it's ridiculously good. Like, so I think if this was his chance to beat Ballymac Finn, this is it. I think if they met again after a couple of runs, I think Ballymac Finn, if you're trying, on the inside of him, which you will as your man's middle seed, he'll always have his number. But yeah, I just think his lads like he's odds on 4 to 5. I think you're much happier with the anti-post bet on Ballymac Finn than jumping on for the first round. But yeah, like Signet Goofy, like you have to give him the credit. Like I was looking at there this morning, his Toaster card is unbelievable, and he's a dog that really makes no sense. The fact that he was a sprinter last year, he was heading into the Derby. You were thinking, can he hang on in heats? And now he's like he was winning races over 500 meter in Sheffield now. He was picking up dogs, which doesn't make no sense to me. But yeah, he just changed his running style. Looks a match race between the two of them. You have to give a shout to Warzone Tom as well. He's probably going to qualify. He's such a classy dog, an absolute iron dog. He's been done the circuit in the UK for the last few years. Won a couple of cat ones of his name. Proper iron dog. Can't see him getting involved early. Obviously, look, with these two, I expect Ballymac Finn and Signet Goofy to go well clear early on. I actually thought 2 and 3 were absolute duds early on. That they just get a clean run at each other. Now if Ballymac Finn comes away at all, like Cena Goofy's gonna have to lead Finn clear, which he could if Finn doesn't break, but I think Cena Goofy's in trouble. If Paddy McFinn gets alongside Cena Goofy on the inside, he's in trouble probably. You know, he could easily just get pushed off the corner. And then you have Warzone Tom and that. So yeah. Look, I'll go for Cena Goofy just on the Paddy McFinn needing the run. But in terms of long run to Derby, I think Paddy McFinn's the dog to be on.
Cheers, Bomber. Let's move on to Heat 9. We've got McNeil in 1, Brady's Bullet in 2, Easy Boss in 3, Droopy's Optimal in 4, Havana Bailout in 5, and Mustang Jet in 6. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
I'm sweet on 2 dogs here. I'm gonna actually Dutch them. I've got one of them already. I'm with Mustang Jet, who I think will lead Holler here, by the way. His first race at Toaster, he's not really broke. Showing decent gears to the corner. And the other dog in the race as well. And I know Trap 1 doesn't look like it would have been his thing, but when I watched him trial at Toaster, I thought he'd handle Trap 1, and then I watched him run from Trap 1 in Ireland. And he kind of goes straight from any boxes in, which is McNeil. I thought the sort of 6, 7, 8 to 1 poke that him probably will be on Betfair on the night. I'd be happy to just have a little save on him. And I think Mustang Jet's a real class above. I mean, he's coming in a bit undercooked. But for me, Dolores Roof is a genius, like nothing short of a genius. I think she's really good with a dog. And I don't know if anyone's ever watched her interview the night that he won at Shelburne Park. Was it the old Night of Stars? I think she literally told everyone like the dog was bouncing, and he was basically, she turned around and said the dog was a fucking certainty, without actually saying anything of the sort. But you know, she just played up his chances, and I think he's a proper dog. Me, like I think he's a real early pace dog. I think he has issues with cramping and a few other things, but I think he's going to go so far clear here. And if he does get picked up, I think the 1 will be the one to do it. But yeah, for me, Mustang Jet here, I think at 7-2 is overpriced. I think even 3-1's overpriced. I'd be more the bottle 2-1, 7-4 mark. That'd be my sort of shout. So yeah, Mustang Jet for me.
Cheers, dog guesser. Welshie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, without wanting to be repetitive, I think Mustang Jet's my pick as well. If you look at the Shelburne form, it's different gravy compared to the dogs that are in this race. Especially when you look at the likes of, spin up again, sorry, just give me a minute. Bobsleigh Dream a couple of times. I know it's not been at Shelburne, but once at Shelburne, sorry, once at Limerick. He's been well up there. This is the classiest dog in the race, Mustang Jet. And like Dog Guesser said, if he gets a free run to the bend, then I can't see much stopping Mustang Jet. My favourite dog in the race, to be honest, is Brady's Bullet. I really like this dog. He ran unbelievably well at Monmore and picked up some really good dogs. And to me, if I'm being honest, I think this is one of the top 3 English dogs in the Derby. I think Brady's Bullet will be up there qualifying round after round. I agree with Craig again that McNeil is the danger, in the sense that he's got the best form on the card. He's ran in behind Ballinball Red a couple of times, ran well at Shelburne. I don't see any problem, again, like Craig said, with Trap 1. He's well drawn. Brady's Bullet is like a slow starter. He'll get going eventually, but I can't see past Mustang Jet. I think 6, maybe a 6-1-2 here if I'm playing a tri-cast. But like I said, I don't want to discredit Brady's Bullet. I think it's a cracking dog, and will will do well throughout the derby. If I'm having an English dog and I get one shot at it, that would be the pick I'd go for the whole tournament, the whole derby. I'd go Brady's Bullet, but I think here Mustang Jet might be too good, and McNeil follows in behind, and then Brady's Bullet is the tri-cast.
Cheers, mate. Bomber?
Yeah, look, I'm actually for once going to go against an Irish dog here, and I'm going to go for Brady's Bullet. I think Mustang Jet, I think everything about this track is wrong for him. I think early pace, we know Toaster, you get in front, it's hard to get picked up, and he's massive early pace. Mustang Jet, in my opinion's weapon is he is unbelievably good from 2 to 3. Big back straight, absolutely can tear it up from 2 to 3. I just think if he doesn't find himself far in front, the problem with him is he doesn't get home in the back of a taxi. Like to sum it up, he absolutely walks home, Mustang Jet, and there's no two ways about it. He absolutely falls. In the Ledger final, now was Bob's the Dream behind him. He must have been 10 lengths clear at the third bend and got picked up on the home straight. Now, that's the Ledger final. He says that's as good as it gets. But he absolutely walks, and just watched a couple of his races back. Yeah, like it's just he has to be so far in front, and he ran without a look at the track. I can give him credit to that. He's a wide dog. It's harder for wide dogs to go, especially like Toaster, and will run well without a look. It's much easier for a railer who's a good bend runner. Should he lead in this heat? Probably. 5 is an absolute airplane, but I could never work her out. She's an absolute machine. She's probably one of the fastest in the UK in the solo trial, but gets herself bet by dogs that she probably shouldn't get bet by in terms of pace. If she can come away at all, 4 or 8 split, it's pretty good. Like, will she lead Mustang Jet? No, but he has to get across. I don't know. I just don't fancy him. He's just not a dog. I just don't think the track's going to play to his strengths. He's a proper wide dog, lads. He doesn't even attempt to cut across. I just don't think it's for him. I like 2. I think 2s are really good as well. I think 2's definitely one of the strongest UK dogs. Won the Monmouth Puppy Derby. A little disappointed maybe with his last couple of trials. Very slow breaker though. But if 2 found himself within range of Mustang Jet, I expect him to pick up Mustang Jet, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to run Mustang Jet down. I think he's ridiculously fast, early pace, can do some savage sprints over here. But I just think, yeah, it's a long way home, even in Toaster for him. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Brady's Bullet in this heat.
Cheers, Bomber. Moving on to Heat 10. We've got Whiting's New Era in 1, Swords Rex in 2, Romeo Salvo in 3, Droopy's Mural in 4, Ballymac Walt in 5, and New in Touch in 6. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
This is a weird one because everything just points to Sword Rex. I mean, I bet him anti-post. He's a superstar in my opinion, but the one, and even though it's like more of a 5'15", 5'50", 5'75" sort of a dog, it does want the middle. And I don't like dogs moving off on other dogs. It's just not my cup of tea at all. Romeo Salvo will probably edge in slightly, in the free box, but again, it's a 5'7" sort. If Swords Rex is going to win a derby, this is the sort of draw that he'll probably have to just smash and go. But there's a dog here that I really like called Ballymac Walt, who's got no pace around it. And, the 29.08 trial at Toaster is pretty decent. Shows that it stays at least, if anything else. Got to the final of the juvenile at Tralee, which is always a strong competition. Last year I think it produced like Offer and dogs like that. And yeah, it's got blistering early pace on 17.50, I think, round Tralee, which is, just joke pace. So for me, I go for Walt here in this race. Swords Rex is going to be unbackable at the prices. So if I was going to take him on, I'd just sort of hope that the 1 bashes him about and the 3 moves in on him, and the 5 can escape. And I don't think there's much else that had really come from behind here, to be honest. So yeah, for me, I go Ballymac Walt at the prices. I hope Swords Rex does the business because, like I say, I'm on him anti-post. But yeah, Ballymac Walt will be my pick at the prices in that heat.
Cheers, mate. Welshie, what are you thinking?
Similar thoughts. I'm sorry to disappoint, but if you back Swords Rex at 50-1, then you're gonna be shouting him on. Whiting's New Era is a bit of a interesting one in the sense that if you look at his Romford runs, to him, but 13:28 is crazy run for that. I don't think I've ever seen a 5.75 run doing a 13:28, and then followed by a 13:56. That dog can break. That's what that's showing. And if you got that inside Swords Rex, I'd be slightly worried. I'm hoping Whiting's New Era just hogs the rail. I'm hoping Swords Rex just bangs middle. And in that sense, that's good enough to qualify. I sort of agree with Craig as well that Ballymac Walt presents the value in the race, and if I'm on the exchange on the concourse prior to the race going off, I'm backing Ballymac Walt to place. I think you've got 6-4 maybe. Trap 5 to place, and I think that's the bet, to be honest. Swords Rex is 1-3. You're not backing a dog at 1-3. One might cause Swords Rex some problems. Nathan Hunt's runner in that race, so I agree. I'm all over trap 5 to place. 6-4 ish, hopefully.
Cheers, mate. Bomber. Internet's down, mate, or is it on mute?
Nah, mate.
Sorry, yeah, it was on mute.
He's just in Ireland.
Sorry, I
all.
just had to get back on the bike there while Craig was talking. Look, Swords Rex, he's going to be most people's anti-post pick. Absolute machine. He has broken 28 seconds 5 times in Ireland, twice in Shelburne, twice in Clonmel, and once in Cork. He's an absolute freak when he puts it all together. Absolute freak. What I like about him is the 27.99 run at the start of the year in Shelburne for the 5-5 was, I can't explain how ridiculous it was on the track. Shelburne is way quicker than it used to be, but on the night it was a proper match up to any run that was ever done around Shelburne. He is an absolute machine. My one issue with him is he can throw in a couple of bad trials now here and there. Just the 28.60 try, he won the Easter Cup, won the best competitions in Ireland every year. For me, never did a huge run over 5.50 compared to what he has over 5.25. As the lad said to me just before we started this, the track maybe wasn't as quick at the time, but still, Ballymac Finn in that rail maybe like to just go that bit quicker than him. I don't know if he was even at 100% himself. He had an unbelievable draw in the Easter Cup final that he used well to win. But I don't know. Like, it's just, can he keep doing it week in, week out? If he can, it's going to take something special to beat him. But when he puts it all together, there's not a dog faster in training. It's as simple as that. I like the way Craig shouted out. Ballymac Walt is an exceptionally fast pup. The Juvenile Classic isn't just an event that throws, there's a good dog here and there. It is the best unraced stake every year. Proves in. People don't run dogs for 4 months that they probably should just to keep them for the Juvenile Classic when they get a really good one. And Ballymac Walt was the fastest winner, first round winner of the Juvenile Classic this year. So that shows you how good he is. Liam Dowling kept him. That can also show you how good he is, just the fact that he still has them. But he has some very good trials. His sprint trials haven't been great in the last few. A couple of 19 seconds in Shelburne, 17, 15 Tralee. Yeah, it's good, but it's nothing to get too excited about, when you see the likes of Culavani Hoffa doing a 17.06 or something around Tralee, which is insane stuff, but it's hard to compare him to that. But he's a very, very fast dog. Probably a stronger runner than an early pacer. Very lightly raced. I'd say he's probably had a few issues that he's been minded, didn't go for the Kirby and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'd say he's a type of dog now. This race could be huge from. I'd say he's maybe dog in the second round to be looking out for if he gets dry heat. But yeah, no, like definitely he's one to look out for the future, really, really quick. But look, lads, the Sword Rex does his thing. It's game over, and that's that.
Cheers, Bomber.